as you can touch the airplane. You got to touch this puppy. This is a very historic airplane. It's an SBD Dauntless dive bomber. Remember I talked about that 70-degree dive? Here are the dive flaps back here. They're on both wings. They come out like that to slow the airplane down, so you can maneuver with the ship. They're under the fuselage and on the starboard wing also. There's a pilot and a gunner. Now, a few years back, we didn't have an SBD Dauntless, and we decided to look for one. And where do you think we looked? Our holding pond, Lake Michigan. And we found this and we pulled it out. Now, when we get an aircraft out of the water, the first thing we do is we pressure wash it. And you can see this is sort of what it looks like when you pressure wash it here and on the tail. When we pressure washed the tail, we saw that number, 2106, and that's the bureau number, or what you'd call a serial number. Now in naval aviation, we track every single aircraft by its bureau number through the life of the aircraft, where it was, what battles it fought, what it did or what it didn't do. We got the log books for that aircraft, and we started looking at it. And we have, today we call an OMG moment. This airplane, this aircraft was at Ford Island during the attack of Pearl Harbor. This aircraft flew in the Battle of Midway by the Marines off of Midway Island. Lieutenant Iverson was in the cockpit. Private Reed, PFC Reed, was in the back as the gunner. On their second mission out to the Japanese fleet, they rolled in to drop their bomb. When they rolled in, they had 2 Japanese Zeros on their tail. They were able to get a bomb away. They didn't get a hit. They rolled out and headed back for Midway. By that time, they had 4 Japanese Zeros on their tail, all firing at them. By the time they got back, they had 240 bullet holes in the aircraft. Lieutenant Iverson had his mic cord cut, and PFC Reed was severely wounded. They were told, because he couldn't get one of his landing gear down, to ditch it in the water, and they'd come and get him. And Lieutenant Iverson realized that if he did that, PFC Reed most likely would perish because he was so severely wounded. So he decided to crash land on Midway Island. And they got both of the guys out. Now normally when an airplane's that badly damaged, crashes, you push it off to the side and use it for parts. But this airplane was sent to San Diego. San Diego restored it into flying status, and it ended up training naval aviators at Lake Michigan. So this airplane survived Pearl Harbor. It survived 2 missions, the Battle of Midway. It did not survive pilot training.